Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Pillars of Eternity with me, Bring It On. It looks like there may be some infighting in Twin Elms. Let's go and speak to the merchant, starting with Alari.
Estramore.
Welcome, friend of the Fisher Crane. Welcome. Our hands give to you with warmth. Always. What can I do for you? Let's see what you've got for sale. For you, friend of Anamenfath, a special price. Always. The fact she follows up every sentence with always makes it seem like I'm getting hustled. Alright, nothing stands out to me.
Hail, Estramore.
Some food for your travels. I hold here many delicious cheeses and fresh fruit. Tell me about your trade. My life is simple and makes a poor tale. I tend the gardens and my herd, and my family picks this delicious fruit you see behind me. The gods have been kind. Let me see what you have. You will not regret it, but please, no tasting. Alright, Derwin.
Hail, Estramore.
This thick-framed woman smiles broadly as you approach. I see that you heard it. A good blade has a voice, and it sings to its wielder. What weapon called you forward? Tell me about your craft. My weapons speak for themselves. Every man and woman in this market knows my worth. Even that Tamra. I bear the knowledge my father held, and his mother before him. Take up one of my blades. You hold a weapon 5 generations in the making. Thorwin snorts. They say I should not waste such fine weapons on Estramorwin. I say a good weapon lying on a rack is the true waste.
Estramore.
You'll need better weapons for the hunt. So, it is good that I can provide these for you. I've got some pretty good weapons. Now let me see your wares. Look all you wish. My weapons are the pride of Anamenfath. I have Bleska's Labor. It's a club. The plus 5 accuracy, plus 4 accuracy when attacking same target as an ally. And plus 25% damage when attacking the same target as an ally. 20% of damage restores endurance. Starts as superb. An unlikely but effective leader. The barbarian Bleska held off a Diran expansion north of Riad Cirrus, organizing the southern Amiable tribes. She kept her ragged alliance together by persuasion, coercion, and force when necessary. Her coalition held together just long enough to dissuade in advance. Now, that is a really good club. But Adair didn't have that soulbound club. He'd have this. Starcaller. Attacks can stun on crits, grants Meneletta's minor missiles on critical hit. This is the AoE one, right? No, that's a different one. But still. Procs on critical hit once per encounter. And that's fun. I prefer this instead of having to manually cast spells from items. That's pretty cool. The devotees of Andra along the north shore of the Amiable Plains watch the moon and stars sink into the sea every night, performing obeisance to the goddess of the tides. A traveling Adiran anthropologist made note of their rituals, filling his journal with sketches of folk swinging their arms to the firmament and descriptions of the stars falling from the night sky. The journal was published and widely distributed in the nascent Adir and Valian colonies. A copy eventually fell into the hands of an apprentice armorer who was so enchanted with the images of the rituals that she set out to craft an homage to them. Her masterwork was Starcaller, a flail of such quality that it was said to have fallen from the heavens themselves. Strike Hard, not nearly as exciting a name as Starcaller or Bleska's Labor. 20% attack speed, and inflicts disorienting for 5 seconds on hit. An Amoa raider from the Deadfire Archipelago once used this weapon when attacking enemy ships. Boarding first, she would rush to the enemy captain while her crew secured the vessel. It took the coordinated efforts of 3 other enemy raiding groups to finally end her dominance among the islands. Curded Pames, or Curded Pomace. +3 resolve, and it's fine. This armor is owned by an Adirian man who belonged to a band of mercenaries, who called themselves the Walkers. At any one time, there are only 5 members, each with a specific set of skills. The first Walker was strong, the second was agile, the third was a marksman of unparalleled skill, the fourth was blessed with incredible endurance, and the fifth possessed irresistible charm. Each of the Walkers wore armor that enhanced their already formidable skills. Clad in Curded Palms, or Pomace, a fifth Walker, the Adirian had once been known to talk a Colquhoun noble into trading his prize mare for a half-finished jug of ale. Lost Meadow Male. The +1 endurance per 3 seconds, and it's exceptional. That looks really cool. Might buy it just to see what it looks like. Amiable? Amiable legends speak of a verdant meadow hidden among the rolling grasslands. Wildflowers grow as tall as folk, and the meadow is forever kissed by the mild sun and cooled by a gentle breeze. Clever trackers, fearless hunters, and innocents fleeing injustice are said to stumble upon the meadow, suddenly finding themselves in a place of perfect peace, where streams flowing with fresh water are always close at hand, and grain falls milled from the sheaf. It is a land of plenty, and it is unknown whether those who find their way to the meadow are unable to leave, or whether they simply choose not to. At the center of the meadow, a place the peoples of Amiable regard as the center of Eora, was a tree bearing small red fruit. It is said that the fruit can restore and reinvigorate even the frailest of individuals. This armor was supposedly anointed with the pulp of one of these fruits, and imbued with essence from its pit. Gonna fall apart here. Yeah, I want to see what that looks like. Helmet of Darksea, +2 perception. A disreputable lord in the Deadfire Archipelago, known for striking secret deals in the dead of night, hired an order of assassins to protect him during his nightly errands. He had them outfitted with magical helms that enabled them to pierce the veil of darkness. Eventually, his paranoia turned on his hired assassins, and he had them executed and their equipment destroyed. One, however, was rumored to have escaped to the Valian Republics, where she became a legend. This worn and scuffed leather helmet fits over the head and covers the upper face. Adjustable leather straps make it comfortable and practical for users of any race and build. 2 crimson-tinted lenses fit in front of the eyes. Alright, I think that was it. Yeah, that is really cool. It is my favorite set of medium armor. Well, besides its breastplate. I'll hold on to that for now. We can use that for optimization later.
Estremor.
This tall woman is clad in furred hides. She settles a sharp, dark-eyed gaze on you. I hold here the best hides in Anamenfath. Hide so thick, the Stelgar cannot claw through. Boots so supple, they'll smother the sound of your steps. What's your trade? I bear it on my skin. I sell hides, from every one of Galawain's beasts. Estremoran come from every village to see them, and know us for great hunters. Every hide bears the tale of a great hunt, and our traders bear them in turn to every corner of our lands. May I see your wares? Then here, look upon the bounty our hunters have provided us. Man, it can't be that good. You don't have any unique equipment.
Yeah.
Many blessings, traveler.
You have the look of a hunter, Estremor. Durin's weapons may protect the man who seeks out misfortune, but my supplies will help you to survive out in the wilds. May I see your wares? Burnett nods, gesturing to his goods with a sweep of his arm. Dokanali? Even more DR bypass than a pistol usually gets. Really good. Dokanali was the weapon of choice of an infamous Valian highwayman. He lurked in the foothills around Parchosi, watching for traders seeking a shortcut through the treacherous mountain passes. Known for his cunning and cruelty, he usually felled his victims with a shot to the gut, leaving them to die slowly and in excruciating pain from what he called Dokanali, bad dessert. Skan Micah's Roar. Clicks disorienting for 5 seconds, 20% of grazes converted to hits, and it's exceptional. Skan Micah, the ogre from Adir and Myths who defeated innumerable champions, before finally facing defeat by a simple shepherd, was said to have a roar that could shake the rain from the clouds. When charging into battle, his bellows knocked his foes from their feet and rattled their very bones. Imorinit. Restore moderate endurance once per rest, and it's superb. A priestess of Hylia and Old Valia took in children orphaned by famine. She guarded them in the temple and gathered what food she could. When looters came to the temple doors, demanded that she surrender their meager supplies, and prayed to her goddess for strength. The priestess suddenly found a powerful mace in her folded hands, and an indomitable courage in her heart. When she charged through the temple door, it said the very birds swooped from the treetops to pluck at the thieves' eyes. When the local duke heard of her bravery and the plight of the children, he diverted emergency supplies from his own hall to feed them. The brave priestess and her mace, Imorinit, little beloved, became symbols of Hylia's fierce protection. Palantane's Staff. Grants Fireball 3 per rest. In a dark corner of Old Valia, far from the influence of civil society, stories tell of a school constructed for the training of wizards, in a very small and obscure niche of magic long forgotten by the rest of the world. High Master of the school was an elven mage known as Talutane, who became aware of a growing problem. The aura cast by the school's particular magic was like a beacon to the unsavory creatures of the surrounding area. Marauding trolls from the nearby moors assailed its walls regularly. The High Master resolved to take action, and in his study, he crafted a fearsome staff to incinerate the trolls. As much as that seemed important at the time, the demanding and short-tempered Talutane soon became preoccupied with other uses he discovered for his staff, namely the punishment of unruly students, and that would become its predominant function in the ensuing years. Arija's Radiance. Can only be used by Paladin, +2 to Intellect. This cloak was a gift given in friendship to a knight, Arij, by a Coquelin dignitary in the early days of the Adirian Empire. Impressed by the knight's noble qualities, the gift quickly became symbolic of the new alliance between elf and folk. The cloak has changed hands since then, but is still regarded as a high honor by all who receive it. The shimmering gold fabric is embroidered with red and silver scrollwork, done in fine silk. The back of the cloak displays the outlines of an open rose. It always looks clean and well mended. Oh, an ebony spider figurine. May have seen this already, but we'll read it again. Nearly life-sized, this figurine is carved from what appears to have been a single block of dark stone. 2 red, jeweled little eyes grant it the illusion of life. I believe she has a bonus to her intellect already, from her breastplate. Alright, so that cloak isn't going to see any use. We have our intellect covered on both of our paladins already. We still see what it looks like. Oh, it is shiny. I don't see the rose, though. Alright, looks like that was all the merchants and all their goods. So let's go to the Passage of the Six. There is some really good flavor text in this game, though. It's really one of my favorite parts of any RPG that I play. If the game has unique items, I really like the flavor text, the lore behind them. The three-tusked Stilgar. The twice split arrows. Yes, I am sure. Anamenfath will not commune together for a season at least. Alright, this isn't voice acted. Keepers, compass, cranes, Stilgars, arrows, and brambles. In this hall, all 6 Anamenfathan tribes come together as one people. Or at least, tradition suggests we try to behave as one.
Yeah? Right.
The Fisher Crane, Stone Bramble, the Guided Compass, the Keepers of the Stone.
Wait. I don't know if I should go through with this. Make the trade deal with the Anamenfath.
Anamenfath. Algina holds out her arm before you enter the hall.
If a Valiant deal with the Glanfathans weakens the Deerwood, it could mean war for the Republics in the future.
What other option do you have?
I could put the idea in the Anamenfath's head that the Republics are not interested in exclusive trade, but limited trade of goods that they do not already trade with the Deerwoodans.
I'm not really sure what to do here. And the mercenary side of me would say to just go through with it. I don't like the way this is phrased, though. And the fact that it's phrased so hostile, or with so much hostility, makes it seem like it's the wrong answer. But I'm gonna choose it anyway. That's a terrible idea. The Dukes will surely eject you from the Brotherhood if you go through with it. Stop and think for a minute. Yeah, that second sentence really just sours this whole sentence. She clenches her jaw in anger, but remains silent.
Yeah.
Another Estremor. What do you want?
A middle-aged Orlan woman stands at the back of the longhouse, an expression of irritation on her narrow features. As you approach, she takes a decisive step toward you. I'm looking for another who passed through the city.
Few Estremoran are given the freedom of our sacred city. That you ask for this person is suspicious. There are reasons we don't let you Estramoran roam our sacred city. Reasons I am coming to understand.
A scowl creases her round face. Whatever these reasons, they've got nothing to do with me. She narrows her eyes. They relate to all Estramoran.
Looters have grown bolder at the sights of the builders. The people of Defiance Bay set fire to their own city. And every week, the 3 Tusk Stelgar bring news of more desperate settlers pushing at our borders, trying to escape their plague of Anolfane children.
You know what? With Palagina, I should have just let her make her own decision. But she was asking for advice, wasn't she? No, I don't think she was. Yeah, I should have gone the, was it benevolent route? Son of a gun. Oh well. Hindsight, am I right? Suddenly you feel the presence of someone else in the hall. Anamenfath continues to glare at you, but something has stepped out of her skin. It reaches out to you.
Permitting more strangers the freedom of the city is out of the question right now. Go and be thankful that Anamenfath Shimak doesn't sit in the passage of the Six today. He would not be so kind as I.
A vision of an Orlan man appears near Bethel. He has the same green-brown fur and hazel eyes as she does. Help me reason with them. He points behind you. Turning, to the ghostly shapes of 5 other Anamenfatha. Another Orlan with tawny fur and a scarred face. A frowning dwarf, a black-furred Orlan, and 2 elves. Who's that other Orlan? He looks just like you. A scowl creases her round face. Is this your idea of a joke? Your kind have no sense of subtlety. The spectral Orlan takes another step from her, setting his foot down with a slow, heavy motion. Tendrils of essence strain between them, and he grimaces and leans forward, as if struggling against a gale. The angry Anamenfath winces. War. The spectral Orlan's voice is a rasping croak. They're headed for war. Remind them of Fairwolt's warning. Does Fairwolt's warning mean anything to you? Fairwolt's soul image gasps. Taut threads of essence tug at him, drawing him back into the Anamenfath. He looks up at you again. I try to tell them. The Builder souls have touched even the Estramoran.
You'd better explain yourself.
The 2 attending tribesmen look from the Anamenfath to you, their sword hands ready. Her slitted pupils narrow. This other Orlan, do you know who he is? Right now I'm more interested in who you are. The Builder souls have touched even the Estramoran.
There's no way you could have known this saying. Not unless you are a Galuth on Anams, a watcher of souls.
She gasps as the last of Fairwolt's soul fades back into her. The tribesmen gape at you. She takes another step toward you. Yes, I'm a watcher. She nods. That explains much.
Feralt's warning came before the Broken Stone War. Feralt, my ancestor on my mother's side, was Anamenfath of our tribe then. When the Estramoric farmers defiled the builders' monuments, Feralt urged the other Anamenfatha to patience, but louder, angrier voices prevailed.
She folds her clawed hands in front of her and gazes down at them.
Feralt believed that the invaders could be taught to respect the builders as we do. He also believed the builders' souls had spread to all peoples, and that we should avoid needless conflict with others. More practically, he worried that a violent response would only spur further bloodshed across the generations, and you can see where we are today.
She spreads her hands. After 2 wars with the Deerwood, his warning is more relevant than ever.
While Feralt's words were shrewd, they were ignored back then. Simply remembering his warning now will not undo the wars and the changes that the years have seen. There is blood on these stones, and that is all anyone remembers now.
She presses her mouth into a thin line. An image of a polished Adra cube flashes in your mind. There is writing on the sides, but the image is too faint for you to read it. The Anamenfath turns away from you and looks at the ground, gnawing a pointed claw. You can't change the past, but your choices now still matter. He looks at you sadly. Yes, that is the problem.
Another Estremor came through here a few days ago and, well, letting him through was a mistake. One I am eager not to repeat. The Guided Compass tribe has a reputation for being too soft with Estremoran, one that will not be improved by my failure to stop this man who has desecrated our most sacred sites.
She levels her gaze at you. Then now's the time to fix things.
I won't repeat a mistake in my haste to correct it. We bar Twin Elms from Estremoran to protect the ancient places that the Builders left behind. The Builders left this heritage to us to defend, but they alone had access to it. On this much, at least the 6 tribes agree.
Suspicion creeps back into her eyes, and she sighs. You again see the polished Adra cornerstone in your mind. This time, the image is clearer. Each face of the stone is inscribed with a phrase you know by heart. But your lips form words. A gift from the builders of civilization to the guardians of their legacy. May the guardians watch the door, while the builders keep the key.
These were the words given to the keepers of the stone.
Bethel stares back at you, her tiny pointed teeth visible through her gaping mouth. What do they mean? She eyes you carefully. They mean that Feralt's words may indeed be true.
Very well. The city is yours to explore. Tell the guard at the gate that you come to see the cornerstone with the blessing of the Guided Compass. If the gods have truly returned one of the builders to us, find the Delimgon of Ter Evron in Elm's Reach. If the gods have sent you here with a purpose, the Delimgon will know.
She runs her hands over her ears, thinking. In the meantime, I shall be here to assist you. I'd like to know more about you. I'm the Anamenfath of the Guided Compass. Like many Anamenfatha, I have leadership in my blood. While tribal authority is not strictly hereditary, we believe that strong leaders can impart a portion of their soul into to their children and grandchildren, meaning that Anamenfatha may succeed from a single line for many generations. She wears a sharpened thumb claw. Of course, with all that's happened here lately, I've wondered whether my family's line is coming to an end with me. Something else you would know. What are the 6 tribes? Bonfathan society is divided into tribes, which are further divided into clans. Each tribe is united by a particular history or way of life, and clans are communities of families that live together. In truth, there are more than 6 tribes, but the 6 largest have traditionally led the others. Each of the 6 has a seat here in the Passage of the 6, where we discuss matters of common interest. You saw, for instance, the debate that occurred before the Broken Stone War. It gives you a hesitant look. The 6 tribes are the keepers of the Stone, Fisher Crane, Three-Tusked Stilgar, Stone Bramble, twice split arrows, and of course, the guided compass. Who are the Keepers of the Stone? They're the first and oldest of the tribes. When they first sailed to Glanfath, they met the Builders, who gave them the cornerstone, and those words you quoted, as a token of friendship. Many of the tribes, even among the Six, look to the Keepers for guidance and leadership. Their long history grants them a place of honor in our society, but it has also made them more conservative, in my observation. I like to hear about Fisher Crane. A mostly Orland tribe from the Thane Bog. Most of the sites they guard are half buried in the wetlands. Even the other tribes couldn't tell you where they are. She crosses her arms. They're not the most renowned of the tribes, but they are the cleverest and subtlest. Say what you will about the berserkers of Three-Tusked Stelgar. I'd rather face them than a Fisher Crane ambush squad any day. They're named after a long-necked bird that lives in the bog. It can stand motionless for hours, waiting for a muck frog or a spotted salamander. But when it strikes, it's faster than anything. What do you know about Three-Tusked Stelgar? She laughs and shakes her head. Same as everybody. They're fearless maniacs, and they want everyone to know it. They consider it a wild bunch, even among Glenfathans. Many of their territories have seen the most conflict with the Estermoran, and they don't forget it. They don't want anyone else to, either. They inflicted and bore some of the heaviest casualties in the wars of the Estermoran. In fact, there was a rift within Three-Tusked Stelgar after the War of Black Trees. Dozens of clans broke away from the ravaged lands and retreated further into the Deerwood, joining whichever tribes would take them. Broken Tusks, some call them. The majority of the tribe dug into the half-burned forest to hold the line, and many respect them for it. She frowns uneasily. They've more than earned their place among the Six. They advocate more conflict than is wise, and too many others are quick to idolize them for their valor in battle. Tell me about Stone Bramble. Mostly dwarves out of the White March. They're one of the younger tribes, formed over the years by trade routes between the wilds and the mountains. They see themselves as generally Glenfathan, though, and who can argue with them? Only Fisher Crane defends sites in such inhospitable territory. Personally, though, I'd say it's gone to their heads. They like to think the rest of us have it easy in the lowlands, forgetting that the wars with the Estermoran never reached their mountains. Still, they came to our aid during both. They aim for a tough, thorny little plant that grows up in the mountains. It suits them. I'm not familiar with the twice-split arrows. Not many are. They're traditionally outcasts and exiles from other tribes. Probably the least respected tribe of them all, but our ancestors believe they should have a voice, and so they've got a seat among the Six. Most of the other tribes see them as scavengers and bottom feeders, but I'll say that to a twice-split arrow. They think themselves survivors, and they're as proud of their tribe as anyone else. She shrugs. They'll accept anyone, and I suppose there's virtue in that. You never know what you're getting with him, though. Some clans will rob you blind, and others will slaughter a lamb for the honor of your visit. The Guided Compass is your tribe, right? Indeed. We're one of the younger tribes, and not one of the most prestigious. We've tried to keep the peace with the Estermoran, which has earned us the reputation of appeasers among some of our hardline brethren in the Three-Tusked Stelgar and the Keepers of the Stone. We value our heritage as Glenfathans, but we recognize that the Estermoran are here to stay. The way we see it, we can better follow our mandate to protect the places of the Builders by making peace with their neighbors. Alright, I'd like to ask about another matter. Very well. We'll take care of Pallegina's quest in the next episode. The dragon skull is brown with age and polished smooth. Yeah, for now I'm going to call it here. Our next episode we'll speak with Bethel again for Pallegina's quest, and then begin exploring the city. But for now, thanks for watching. Up to see you guys in the next one.